What's the dumbest thing you've ever seen someone try to use as a status symbol? A teenage boy was wearing a shirt which had a clear laminated pocket sewn on the chest. The pocket displayed a $100 bill. A neighbor told us that she added a flock of pink plastic flamingos, about 2 dozen of them, to her front yard because they added a touch of class to her property. That's classy as crap, though. Quite literally a 50s relic which was meant to say I can afford a vacation to Florida. Some girl around my university drives a white Honda that she pulled off all the insignia and replaced with a Maserati symbol. Ah yes, the seldom seen Honderity Quattraport. When I was graduating from high school, all seniors got a catalog so we could order our cap and gown, and it had a bunch of other random items in there, class rings, leis, etc. One of them was something called the status tassel. The description read, "Show them your status with the status tassel." That was it. The status tassel came in our school colors, just like the regular tassel that came with the cap, but it had some gold thread mixed in too. I guess the status was I have $10 more than you. Or at least I did, but I spent it on this status tassel. This is the dumbest crap I've read so far. I forgot about how hard those high school ring and cap and gown companies tried to squeeze us for our parents' money. Number of Facebook friends. I remember some number of years ago, people would join apps that literally just friended them with every single other person who had joined the app. Great, you have 10,000 Facebook friends, 95% of whom you've never met, and probably about half are fake accounts specifically created to get your personal information. Haha, I've gone completely the opposite, unfriending anyone if they say or do something I deem annoying. Stage 1 of becoming a miserable old shite, I think. Going to Ivy Tech, because they only allow the smart people to join, and you don't have to deal with stupid people all day. It's only for people smart enough to go and get their degree in 2 years. She was talking about it like it was Yale or some crap, but it's just a community college. Pretending to be less fluent in one's native language than they really are. In small communities like mine, Nepalese, being fluent in an international language such as English is a status symbol. It means that one is either well educated or well traveled, or has access to cable TV and internet. I can understand people flaunting their English skills, although it seems somewhat childish to me. But it's ridiculous the way some people try to appear less tribal and more sophisticated by pretending to be bad at their own languages. That, to me, is a sign of stupidity. Same here in the Philippines. Even more baffling is that English is one of the official languages and is pretty much taught to you once you begin school, if not taught to you by your parents since birth. Slow Sunday night at the bar I worked at during uni. A group of braying fuckwits all stood at one end of it. Because it was quiet, I couldn't help but overhear what they were talking about. Ralph Lauren shirts, Ralphies, in their words. They talked about them for at least 20 minutes straight. It was min-fuckingly dull. Then they finished their round and I thought they would be heading off. No, I was waved over to get another round in for them. The bloke ordering the drinks was wearing Ralph Lauren specs. I knew this because they still had that sticker on the lens that they have in the opticians. Either the lens was fake and he just bought the frame because they had a polo player on it, or he'd transplanted the sticker onto a lens he actually needed. Either way, T. Any part of a car that is worth more than the car it is installed on. Speakers, rims, you name it. $2,500 rims on a $500 car is just asinine. Their children. I live in a wealthy area of a mid-sized city. If people could wear their children on their sleeves, I believe they would. They measure themselves by how smart, pretty, competitive, athletic, etc. they are. Not an exact answer to this question, but related. Remember back in high school, when hipsters used to like to call out older people for needing to show off their wealth? Well, one girl was doing that by criticizing someone for driving a status symbol car. The car in question, a Volkswagen Beetle. Yes, dang those rich people and their dang subcompact economy cars. I drive a 2001 Beetle. I had no idea I was such a baller. I used to bodyguard a guy who dealt C at nightclubs. He carried a pimp cup that was spray painted gold and bedazzled with plastic Hobby Lobby jewels. He was so proud of that stupid looking goblet that he wouldn't let anybody touch it. He used a red Solo cup inside his pimp cup with a straw coming out of it so he wouldn't get his pimp cup messy. Freaking idiot. He thought he was a true baller and always had some white ratchet be on his side using him for his blow. It sounds like he has good senses of humor and thrift. I'm an exterminator. I see a lot of weird things, so you gotta be real elite to handle this job. So what do? Said this to me when I started dating his sister. He lives with his parents. My friends and I were outside a Thai restaurant just about to get in our cars when we heard that indistinguishable Ferrari engine sound. Sounded like it was speeding and was gonna come in our line of sight any moment. Seeing a Ferrari on the road is no rare event here, but one speeding one a surface street surely is uncommon. As we had our gaze locked on the road, a fricking 1990s Civic passed with windows rolled down playing a Ferrari engine soundtrack on the audio system. It was funny yet very cringy. Heck of an audio system though, if you mistook it for a real Ferrari. For me it's when I was in basic training in 2013. For those of you that don't know, in basic, for the army at least, can't speak for the other branches, you get stuck in a room with like 50 other dudes and you all share a bathroom, showers, washer dryer etc. The showers have like 10-15ish heads in them and no curtains or anything for privacy. Well, we had this one private, we'll call Eagle 1. He was the only dude out of all of us that had his balls shaved. He was so freaking proud of his baby smooth ball sack. He would flaunt it to other dudes in the shower. Whenever he'd drop his pants to get in the shower he'd shout bald eagly and then get in the shower. Well, over the course of the training, he gained followers. Other dudes started shaving their balls and they'd all drop their pants in unison and shout bald eagle as they made a type of club and would post a naked guard at the entrance to the shower and try to keep us unshaven guys from showering. At the same time, it was the dumbest, most gayest, most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. After basic they even made a private Facebook page about it. Dumbest, most gayest, most hilarious. Yeah, that sums up a lot of my military experience, too. As some other ex-military redditor said on here, I still don't know if those were the gayest straight guys I've ever met, or the straightest gay guys. Back when I was in high school, a guy would carry around an expensive chrome rim with him. He had the same set on his mom's Acura or WE, but we bought an extra one from the shop just to carry around. This was around 15 years ago. I see dumb crap like this all the time. I don't think I could possibly decide which one was the dumbest. I will say the funniest one I ever saw was a guy that drove a Pontiac. Can't remember which one it was, that took the Pontiac symbols off of it and put Ferrari stickers all over it and told everyone it was a Ferrari. I hope it was a Fiero. A mate of mine was in prison for a couple of months and he snuck out his prison issue clothing so that he could sell it on eBay because apparently some knobheads think it makes them look hard. A few days ago some random guy started bragging about his huge criminal record, 3 pages, and tried to offer me C after I told him being slightly criminal isn't something to be proud of. I'm still asking myself if he ever managed to get a girl's number that way. Brand name or logo outside of clothes. That's for people that want to pretend that they're well off. Walk into Barnes and most things will not have logos on the outside or at least be discreet. If you're well off and actually care about clothes, your wardrobe has neither brand names nor size tags. A rich kid I know from college posted pics of his new Audi he got after graduation. His statuses talk about hard work, success and grinding it out, but I know for a fact his mommy and daddy bought it for him and he's currently unemployed. A smartphone. Those things are dirt cheap if you go 1 or 2 generations back or get something besides the brand new Apple, Samsung, whatever. Definitely, I paid $250 for mine. That's the most I ever plan on paying for a phone. It does what it needs to. The fact that they shower 2-3 times a day. B, you're gonna dry your skin out. Don't act like I'm nasty for doing it only once. Achievements in video games. I can hang with the best of nerds, but waving your achievements over me and insinuating that my actual life is worth less than yours because you have done something in a video game that I haven't just blows my mind. Everyone's got their priorities, I guess. Today I was involved in a road rage incident in which the guy and I pulled into the parking lot. When confronted on why he started freaking out on me, he said, "You almost swerved in my lane." I didn't. and then yelled my paint job costs more than this truck. Candy blue. It was on a Chevy HHR. I hate when people say I know so and so. Like, cool man. We all know people, but you personally knowing Craig Culver has nothing to do with why I am not taking your coupon. It's because the coupon is expired, and Craig is a nice person. Got to meet him for being employee of the month, so I doubt he'd stick up for you versus his company. Too late, but whatever. I once overheard two country butt women crap talking another woman. I bet she doesn't even know what Carhartt is. Cue both of them laughing. Carhartt, Inc. is a US based clothing company founded in 1889 that focuses on work clothes. Oh. Being a millionaire in a place where the average home price is over $1 million. Guy told me he was a millionaire. I was like, big deal, that means you own a house here. Most likely the bank owns a house here. My ex-husband bankrupting himself buying 4 BMWs in 4 years, including an M3 that could not accommodate our children. It was ridiculous. The awful trend on Tumblr of listing your totally not made up professionally self-diagnosed mental illnesses as if they make you better than other people. Saw a post on our trashy about a chick thinking she is better than other girls because she carries a lighter and a knife in her bra. This lady I met a few months ago would literally emphasize any part of a product name that made it an Apple product. Example, yeah, I'll look that up on my iPhone. I use my MacBook for that. Nobody cares that you use a phone or laptop that just so happens to have an Apple on the back. Heard this one from a former co-worker. OP is military, so he'll get the ranks with more clarity. They are important. Keep in mind this is a third-hand account that I'm giving. Low-level army private E1 douchebag McFuckstick ran a red light and T-bones my co-worker's son who was on a motorcycle. Son is army warrant officer WO2 biker McBickerface. PVT. McFuckstick is in uniform. WO McBickerface is in crotch rocket biker gear. WO2 was a helicopter pilot with combat experience as a pilot and infantry in prior days before becoming a warrant officer. Responding cop is Army Reserve Lieutenant Colonel. 05. PVT McFuckstick apparently told the lieutenant, Col officer friendly, that WO McBickerface was the one that ran the red light. Lieutenant Col friendly is skeptical, and PVT McFuckstick starts pointing at his chev and saying how everyone needs to respect his rank. The TL, DR, and unfamiliar with US military ranks version. Guy with absolute lowest rank in the army and actually being the army is trying to use his rank in the army as a status symbol unknowingly in the presence of two people that outrank him by a lot. Privates are the dumbest people on the planet for sure. Probably a reservist or guardsman too. I am a guardsman for clarity, lol. A car. Might seem a dumb answer, but one. We had all stated that we had no interest in cars at all, and he still kept going on about it as if we cared, and two, it was given to him as part of his benefits. He didn't seem to realize that a car is only a status symbol if you bought it. If you're given it because you've got a fricked back, then you don't get to claim it as evidence that you're successful. That guy was a complete T, though. I recently had to endure two older male colleagues having a pee contest about who the most famous person they'd ever met was. One-upmanship is a bad look on anyone. Baby Gap clothes. Parents couldn't afford to pay rent or buy formula, but would brag about their kid wearing name brand clothes. Spending your money on a label rather than your baby's needs does not make you a good parent. They don't have custody anymore, thankfully. A roommate's super snobby girlfriend always liked to brag about whatever expensive brand name stuff she had. One day the girlfriend and her boyfriend were going to go to Costco. This was kind of a big deal because we were living in NYC and Costco had just opened. I said something like, "Oh, I love Costco. It actually originated from my hometown and we go all the time at home," to which the girlfriend snootily replied, "Yeah, well, I have the gold card membership. If you're not familiar with Costco, the basic membership the anyone with $50 can buy is called the Gold Star membership." Girlfriend actually felt the need to one-up me over a Costco membership. Gah. Back when I was in high school, a girl bought a white pair of cheap earbuds. She used to wear them plugged to nothing so people would think she had an iPod or iPhone. Sagging. The whole loose pants not fitting started as a validation of poor fitting clothing, born mostly from poor kids wearing hand-me-downs and thrift store clothes, and prison clothing that didn't fit. I sag my pants. I'm aware it looks bad, but I've lost 30 pounds. I'm not done losing weight. I refuse to buy new clothes until I hit my goal weight. Until then, I sag my jeans or arc sweatpants. Friend came home from the Marines. Another person we were riding with made us turn around because he forgot his Marines shirt. He wasn't ever in the Marines. He said he was joining, but that was a lie. These two people in my class got in a verbal argument over who had to deal with the shittiest life situations because one of them got into UCLA and wanted Berkeley and the other got into Berkeley. Buying a Lincoln vehicle. Someone I know bought a Lincoln not long and acted like it was really impressive. She even told the story that she went to the dealer to get her first preventative maintenance and the Lincoln VIP waiting room was being repainted, so she was going to have to wait in the regular waiting room. She had the courtesy shuttle take her home because she wasn't going to sit in the room with those Ford people. Their ignorance and isolation. I don't see why all these foreigners come here not speaking English. I don't speak Italian, so you won't see my butt in Italy anytime soon. Am I right? So, you don't travel overseas, and you don't speak any language other than your native one, and that somehow makes you better than people who do? You just said the hypothetical foreigners don't speak English though. Stupid people who didn't serve in the military wearing uniforms. I saw a dork the other day with a navy uniform and the wrong shoes on. What an a-hole. Being in the military, it's usually the kids that gloat who jumped out the first chance they got that really bothers me. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.